Welcome back to episode 3 of the Let's Play. By now I've uploaded episode 1 and episode 2 this morning. Episode 2 went on, so hopefully you've watched episode 1, episode 2. If not, go back and catch up to date. So, episode 3. So today, on today's episode, we certainly need to deal with these fields that we've mown before, and essentially get them into the silage, and then see where we are. What you'll notice as well, when I've been editing the videos, what I noticed was it was really quiet when I wasn't speaking. Obviously, I turned down the volume on the tractors. I could still hear it, but then when I've done the editing on the clips, what I've learned is that you guys couldn't. So it was a bit disappointing, really. You couldn't really hear what I was on about half the time with the sounding good. So what I've done is I've increased the volume. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Again, more than happy for you guys to comment back. The first video that I've had out has got a number of views. It hasn't had any comments yet, but I will read your comments and appreciate them, and I'll talk about your comments on the videos that I make. So we can go from there. Obviously, the first 2 episodes for me were too long. The first one was 58 minutes or something, or 50 something minutes, and the second one was the late 40s. I think they're way too long. So I'd like to cut them back, and it's getting that balance really is the challenge to adjust it, because even though you think you've left enough time, and when you edit them you realise just how long they are. So hopefully today's episode will be much shorter. Ideally, like I said, 25 minutes, half an hour is kind of the ideal time for me, thinking about the videos. But again, see what you guys think, and if you like the longer episodes, it's not a problem to make them. It just I just think that sometimes people don't have the time to watch the lengths of the episodes. So, but happy to listen to what you guys are saying. So yeah. So today we will windrow these. We'll use the forage wagon to pick them up and put them in the clamp on this farm. Hopefully we can get through that and see how much more we get done today. That'd be useful. Obviously there's a lot to do. It's only 10:55 in the morning. Obviously 1 time speed at this moment in time, so it allows us the opportunity to do a lot. We've obviously got straw on the field to collect as well with the forage wagon, so there's a lot of work with that. I think ideally I've got a plan with that. I think the sheds that we've got here, I would like to bed them down now, fill them with straw from the forage wagon, ready for the winter. We need to think about the animals coming in for the winter, because I don't really want to leave them out. As we talked about in a previous episode, we would like to bring them in, particularly the dairy cows. The cattle may, the fat beasts may stay out a bit more, but we will see. Anyway, I'm going to continue to tether this field and windrow it into rows, and once and then I'll do the next one as well. So once I'm back doing that, I will be back with you guys, and we can catch up where we are and talk a little bit more. See you shortly. Welcome back. That's the field's just finished, so they're all nicely rowed up for us to be able to use the loading wagon. So the plan here is my plan, like I said, is to use one of the silos. I'm going to probably use the empty one here, the furthest away. Ideally, over the course of the fields that I've got to do, I would like to fill it as full as possible, because with the amount of sheds that we've got and the animals coming inside for the winter, we will use a lot of silage, obviously making TMR and that. So what I'll probably do is do the first load on camera, and then I will join you back once I've finished the fields and we can have a look how the clamps look. I normally like to just back into the clamp and tip it up and as much as possible and get it as high as possible, and then kind of use the Manitou, which is down at the other farm, to kind of level it off a little bit so you can then compress it. It's easier to get to buy a silo roller, much more efficient than rolling backwards and forwards, because these tractors aren't very heavy either. So, but let's focus on getting it in first, and then, or if you guys got any ideas how to do it better, then let me know. So again, we're not going to get all the way around the field before it's full. This is why you need a bigger pickup, a bigger trailer really. But large scale is obviously to use the chopper with much bigger trailer would be much easier. So right, so let's get this down to the silo. It's a bit narrow through here, so we just have to be a little careful. One thing I like this tractor is the ability for both wheels to turn. It really helps in this really tight farm. Let's see. So that's the first load in, the first of many. And what I'll do is I will get on with getting the rest in, and I'll join you back once we've finished these two fields. So see you shortly. Ta-ta for now. Welcome back, and I've been very busy while you've been away. I know when I left you before, I was dealing with them fields to bring in some silage, but I went a bit mad really and did a few bits. So first thing to show you is I decided to get some water from the pond in the first field on the farm, and basically set up this greenhouse, which is I've already done. So there's a bit of excess water, and I might go and put it in one of the other two greenhouses we own. So be useful exercise to do. But as you can see, this field is freshly cut, harvested, and the one next to it. And now the few extra bits that we've done. So I know I discussed it kind of online about cutting the the fields that the cows are in, so I decided to do them all on this farm. Just leaves the other farm. So if we go over to our clamp, you will see 934,920 full of grass. 21% compacted. So the first task I think on here is to level it off a little bit. I've done a little bit, and then obviously we're going to have to do a bit more. Obviously, and see where we are. This is what I like about using this, is it's a bit tight when it gets to the top, but you keep picking it up and it keeps leveling it off quite nicely. Just bring it away from the front, because what you need to do is make sure, because obviously when you're rolling it, usually what ends up is it gets in the way. And on the edge, it just pushes it out of the edge. So what we'll do here is make sure it's far enough back really to create that makes it quite steep, but let's do a bit in first person. I think can't see as well, but behind us. I think for now that's probably good enough. I've also had to tidy up around the farm, so what you'll see is machinery that was stood outside. It's still outside, but I've just tidied it up. It was looking a bit messy. Just left that there for the moment, and then obviously put them in there. So the next thing is I have somewhere. So I've been down to the shop and I've bought a roller, fairly cheap roller, just to help for the moment to compress that clamp, and we can get a cover on it. As you'll see, it's 6:15 at night, so even for August we're working quite late, but normal for farmers to do that. I think what we'll do is, the opportunity here is we're going past this petrol station, is probably a good time for this tractor who's done a lot of work is to refuel it. Not as expensive, 72 pounds, not bad. Definitely not UK prices then currently. So let's get this down to the farm, and then let's get this clamp rolled. And obviously through the winters we're going to need a lot of silage, so we've got a decent amount of hay. One of the fields I did, at the top I did a ted of hay, and I've put it into the silo storage. So we have got a decent amount of hay as well to make TMR for the animals, which we will have to bring inside, like we said, in October, November, depending on weather conditions. And that field on the left there, my plan is still to probably drill it I've actually not used this this type roller before, so it might be interesting to see what. Ooh, it kind of glided. There's quite a bit of weight in this roll. We probably should do is have a front weight on this tractor, because I've just put a dent in it. Let's see. I'm gonna reverse up initially, I think. See if it can take it up. Yeah, this roller does seem quite tough to do at the moment. And I'm stuck. Well, it wasn't very clever, but hopefully get out of it. It's quite a noisy roller, this. Don't know if you can hear it over my talking, but I'm going to change the view, I think. It's very steep, this. I'm just going to go up forward and see how it takes it. There's obviously a big dip there, so don't think it's going to like that. And we're stuck in the same place. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump out, and I'm going to go and level off this a little bit, just to presenting us with a little bit of a challenge. Let's see if we can. What we might have to do is initially pick it up. Probably would work better with we just need to yep, it's very, very heavy with this on the back, but it is flattening out, so let's hopefully get rid of this. So I think now what we've ended up achieving is getting this over the Not going to make that particularly easy now. I'm just going to go back to overview again, just to see if we can do a good job with this up here. It's still 31% compacted. Yeah, I didn't think it'd like that. Yep, so we've done well there. We've got it stuck again. I wonder if anybody else has these problems. Anybody else suffer with these kind of issues? It can be really, really hard, I suppose. It can be I wonder if I can level it off a little bit to get some around that back wheel. No, it's not doing anything, that. See if we can get this off the clamp. I think we might work there now. Get back in the Manitou JCB, which is now stuck itself. So we're having great fun with this, really. It's not been a very good let's see if I can get up here. Once it's fairly flat, it makes it a lot simpler. But it's just easier said than done. Sometimes the fuller it is, the easier it is. So this is becoming quite flat on here now. It's much better, much easier. This roller seems quite slow at compacting it though. It is down. I suppose if we had a front weight, does that help? I noticed there's a mod out to create silage and hay on Mod Hub. It's essentially a silo that generates it, but again, not hugely realistic at this moment in time. Is anybody playing any good maps at the minute, or any new ones? That obviously we just got started on this, but I'm quite looking for other maps to play potentially in the not so distant future. Place some comments. And on the first video I made the mistake of when I posted it, I didn't realise that suitable for children automatically disabled the comments, so I took that off and then allowed the comments after the fact. So appreciate if you leave a comment, and like I said, I'm during the course of the videos or commenting back on them, I'm more than happy to come back on any thoughts, ideas, or anything you guys have, and girls obviously. Yeah, this is extremely slow for compacting purposes. Anyway, I'm going to finish this up so you don't have to sit here and watch me, and once I've finished I'll be right back with you. See you shortly. You join us back as compacting is now 100%, so we will just carefully leave the silo and park up the tractor for now. And let's go and blanket it. Lovely, and it's got it all. That's good. I'm going to probably take this opportunity to have a wander around and see if there's anything created pallets wise from our milk this morning that we dropped off. You never know. We can top up the shop and get a little bit of income before the end of the day. Oh, there is. There's a pallet of butter. So we will deposit that into our farm shop and see what we get for that. 2,740, not bad. Let's have a check on our animals for the moment. So health is 30% on our Limousins and Angus, 36% on a Holstein, I've got a little bit of milk there, so we've got 20 very young ones, no months, 50 at 12 months, and 50 at 18 months. What it actually doesn't do there is tell you what the maximum is, which is interesting. Let's have a look. So we've got tomatoes, lettuces and strawberries producing, butter and cheese. We're actually not far off another cheese pallet, our first cheese pallet, and a butter pallet, so they should spawn overnight and still got a decent amount of milk. So we've got the opportunity, I suppose, on the other greenhouses to add some water in, although we can activate automatic irrigation, but obviously that costs us money, whereas the water from our lake is currently free, so be useful to probably fill it up ourselves for the time being. So we've got 2 further greenhouses. I'm not actually sure where they are. So we've got the one on the farm, which should be that one. What's that one? That's the Homestead Farm. So there's one across the road, which is actually not far away. And then there's one down on the other farm. So that one that's across the road, what we may do is we've got some water here. So I might use this as an opportunity. Oh, there's another lake there. Wonder if you can get access to that. It's the only thing I've noticed in here, it's very, very tight to get in, because even getting through there, because the gate only opens part of the way, which is a little bit frustrating, because now I'm going to get stuck. No, just get through. So let's go into love these old tractors and the way they sound. Love driving them as well. They sound amazing. The turbo on them. So the other one is suggesting it's over the road somewhere. Oh, down the road. Not sure how we get there. Possibly. We're going to try driving down the road first. And it's on the right hand side here. Do you reckon it's down there? Could be. Yes. Here we are. Again, this looks really quite tight. Very tight, but we're going to overload it anyway. And then let's get that one going, which must be this one. Again, it's quite tight. Maybe we can develop that a little bit more as we go along. So it's good to keep this empty, because it'll be used in the morning to transport the milk for the milk run. So we'll possibly take it ready for that. So, one thing I haven't checked out is what buildings are really removable. Let's understand. Don't think the silos appear to be removable, but most of the farm isn't, by the looks of it. Don't think. Yeah. So there's a garage that's removable, which is a bit. So there's very little that seems to be removable, which is, I suppose, a bit disappointing in some ways because. Oh. So, I have just deleted that. It didn't even ask me to. Oh dear. Unfortunate mistake, however. It's a little bit odd. We'll just say the wind blew the doors off. They blew their bloody doors off. So yeah, so there isn't much that's removable. So that shed is, which is technically is annoying. The greenhouses is. That's interesting. But again, is what's removable here? It's not a lot. Well, that's interesting. So there's not a lot of removable objects, which I suppose can be a bit frustrating when things are in the way. But it's kind of how it goes. It is still quite early. So guess what I could do is we could go and get a load of straw from the field at the top, because I have a plan. What I think we've kind of discussed it earlier, what I want to do with this. Just hopefully not make the same mistake on this episode as I've done previously on another save, where I was hiring a seeder to seed the field, and I actually forgot that I'd not cleared the straw off the field first, so I hired the seeder, paid for the hiring of it, then arrived at the field, and then wasted 2 hours and a lot of money not being able to use it because I had to clean all the straw off because I needed the straw. I couldn't just take it as a hit, unfortunately, which was very frustrating. But these things happen. So we're going to do this in this view. I'm not sure what people prefer, a little bit of variety. But yeah, if you like me doing anything, don't like me doing anything, then put comments below and I can have a look at how I can do things differently, or what the different people like to see, or just give you some feedback on why I prefer doing things a particular way. There's going to be quite a lot of straw in this field by the looks of it. Obviously, we use quite a wide combine, so I'd expect us to fill this small wagon quite quickly, which we are. We could do with a clean this tractor. The wing mirrors are extremely dirty. It's done 8.3 hours today of work, so significant amount of work for this new tractor, but it's our best tractor, and so I'm quite glad that we've got it. Clearly got a bit too close for that car's comfort. In this view, it's very difficult. You just have to take a risk. Beautiful view out the sunroof. I think I'm just going to do the one load and then call it a day. It's 7 o'clock. My dinner's ready. I think we've achieved a very good amount for the day. So my plan here, I'm just going to flip that to the view. My plan here is really to, in preparation for the winter, we're going to bed down these animals. Now I know that doesn't look like it's going to fit underneath there, so what I'm going to do is back in carefully. Let's see. So in preparation for the winter months, obviously it's a bit early, but it saves putting the straw into the silo and holding it. Obviously going forward, we at some point we'll get a baler and be able to store it in some different way. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to fill up the different places with the straw they require, and then obviously the rest will have to go in the silo. But at least we're preparing for the winter months. Anyway, I think it's a good time for me to finish the day here. So again, if you like the episodes, then like it and subscribe, and then you get updates for when I post future episodes, because that's the plan. Hopefully do a couple a week, maybe more, depending on demand. If you don't like it, then reach out, put comments. Tell me why you don't like it. Tell me what you'd like to see. Happy to hear both feedback, positive and negative. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next episode. So take care for now. Good night.